So now that we're finished up with the moss farm, digging out a little tunnel right here. I've already kind of made a dinky makeshift. Yeah, underneath the bone meal farm now, down here, everything looks good. Haven't tested the farm or anything or turned it on, but this is where the items are gonna fall out. And I've already kind of made a little makeshift item sorter and shulker loader over here. We are gonna have a problem too with loading these. Like this farm is just meant to produce bone meal, and you're not really supposed to pick out the like all the moss items and whatnot, which is kind of a shame because the moss items are super useful. Because this thing needs like a lot of bone meal to run. So I guess we're gonna have to find some kind of way to like automatically siphon bone meal in here too, which I don't think will be too difficult to hook up a dispenser or something. Okay, let's hook up the final ice stream here. Okay, cool. And this should run along here, run along the honey, and then go down here, and then rub against all of these item filters, and then we'll have a different stream right here for it to go and do the composters and start producing bone meal. Alright, everything looks pretty good on this end. Definitely want to get some item frames in, but we actually have quite a few chests. They added the pale moss and the... I guess just the pale moss, but it makes the pale moss carpet too. So we get quite a few drops from this farm. I actually need to go to a... what is it, a pale forest biome. So I'm actually going to do that before we turn the farm on. Alright. This is actually just a little bit farther than the Froglight farm. Uh-oh. This is kind of spooky. This is kind of spooky. I don't know if I like being underground like this. It looks like there's an entrance out of here. I think we can just fly out, maybe. Alright, this is not too promising. I did kind of mess up the coordinates just a little bit. Let's go up here to this mountain, see if we can find anything. Looks like we might be able to find some packed snow here, which is pretty nice, actually. Is my render distance too low? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I guess it wasn't too far off then. I did mess up the coordinates just a little bit. There are a ton of like not trial chambers, but like the deep dark biomes. So we want this stuff. We want this hanging moss. Nice. And we also want to get at least one of these pale moss blocks. Crazy. Okay, we get the carpet too. We can use that for the item filters. I guess before we swap out the one moss block for the pale moss, we can go up here, go into the great tree. I've been doing a little bit of cocoa bean farming off camera, bone meal stuff. Let's swap this out so we can actually put a shulkers full of bone meal. Ride up the water elevator. Most of the work I've done, all that stuff's kind of old, has been up here. So you can see I've created a ton of these little, like, auto-crafting bone meal farms. They've added a lot of blocks to the game, so I've slowly been chipping away here. We are missing one item now. No longer the pale moss. I guess I'll have to kind of cheat to get in here. But we can just do... I guess we can't do that. This. And we can turn this on. All of the farms here pretty much use the same. You can see it here, the sticky piston with the observer clock. We are missing the bush item. I can't find straight up bushes. We have like the Raise Works, grass, fern farm. A lot of these are pretty simple. This one is a little bit more complicated with how you have to plant and shear them. All these other ones are pretty simple here. So we can just try. Oh, isn't that lovely? So now we have infinite pale moss. I think we did forget the rooted dirt farm, so I'll have to add that eventually. But I mean, they added the dry grass. It's short and tall, so we have to make one side of the farm tall and one side of the farm short. I'll show you what I mean. So this is just short, and this is when it's tall. Big differences here, guys. All right, let's get out of here and get a swift entrance into the sewers here. Right into the moss farm. Beautiful. Easy breezy central location. All right, I guess we'll swap out the moss block in this corner here. This seems fine. And now this spot will produce the pale moss. Right, big moment of truth. I haven't tested this farm yet, so I guess let's see if it like just freaking explodes or something. Oh, this is positive. Okay. Bam. Look at all of those moss blocks. So this thing should fill up the moss supply chest pretty quickly, and it should start producing bone meal in surplus. The main blocks we actually want to farm. Let's make sure that the pale moss is working right. Uh-oh. Oh, we gotta turn this off. That does not look right. I don't know what is going on here. Is it because we didn't use signs? Uh-oh. Okay, I don't think anything is wrong with the farm. I also added I think we just needed to change the fence gates with signs and it's fine. I also added so all of the items in the farm will go to the storage system over here, and then when this fills up, or if the hopper filter can't keep up with how many items are coming through, it's gonna get composted into bone meal. So I guess I'm just gonna have to make sure that these are initially filled up with bone meal while our storage system fills up here, because we're not gonna be getting any bone meal that funnels through the system when we're putting items into these chests here. So let's turn it on and let's see if this works now. It should with the signs, I think. Oh yeah, that's what was wrong. It was the frickin' fence gates. So now we're producing a ton of moss, and we need all of these blocks. We need the seeds, we need the frickin' azalea bushes, we need the moss blocks themselves. So I didn't know this, but they actually changed it so you can craft mossy stone, or mossy cobble and mossy stone bricks with the moss blocks, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah. Look at all of these freaking items. It's kind of cool how we can see it all drop here. I want to put some glass on here too, so we can kind of stand above. We might not want to do that because I guess there are these two tall grass blocks generating. All right, so yeah, I've been running the bone meal farm for a while. It's been working well. There was a few bugs I had to kind of kink out here. But yeah, I realized we kind of made a big whoopsie, a small whoopsie. We kind of made a little bit of a mistake here, because on the bright side of things, we're actually going to build a rooted dirt farm. And this is kind of a problem because our big beautiful factory with all the machines and everything is actually 13, potentially 14 chunks away from the other corner of the moss farm, and we could have just like moved it over a little bit and it would have been fine. I have some other projects that I'm going to be doing underground, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but I'm going to turn up the simulation distance in the server settings or whatever. And yeah, there's one thing I definitely regret about this build. I think that I built the obsidian chamber for the rooted dirt farm is going to produce rooted dirt and 1 oak log. And so that's what this obsidian chamber thing is over here. And it's another piston duper that synergizes pretty well with the old nether tree farm. We can just use the platform down there to collect all the logs. I kind of regret building it a little. I felt like I built it a little too low, and I want to build it higher in the air. But that's fine. It's not really that big of a deal. We still have a ton of space here, and if we really need to, we can move it again later. But yeah, now that the time lapse is finished, let's check it out. I have this nice quartz walkway here. It made it look super pretty. We have a lot of ways of getting up here to the clay farm, so you can just walk down here. And I actually built this rooted dirt farm, and I was going to build this. I whipped up a cute little design in creative, and I was like, wait a second, rooted dirt, we can just hook that straight up to the freaking clay farm. And so that's what I did. I was actually gonna initially I was gonna build this down here, but I was like, wait a second. Like I got this, so I made it as efficient and as fast as possible. I guess we can give it a test here. Let me make sure my volume is completely off. Yeah, so let's grab like 32 azalea bushes. So I haven't tested this thing at all, so I'm pretty excited. We've got it looking pretty nice here. I can kind of show off how this thing works before we. It's gonna start growing azalea trees, and it's gonna be much more crowded. So yeah, we have all this. I think the redstone looks pretty clean. I put it on the quartz blocks to differentiate it from the diorite over here. And yeah, the way this farm works is we're gonna grow. The player's gonna plant a azalea tree in a moss block. This dispenser is gonna grow it, and then we have a stone generator that pushes stone. It'll get converted into moss with this dispenser in this moss block. These pistons will break any blocks on the moss that spawns. So if there's like a moss carpet that spawns on the moss block here, we won't be able to place an azalea tree. So these pistons will break anything on top of the moss blocks. And then there's another piston down here that's going to push the rooted dirt into the clay farm. And I'm gonna make a little switch here that sends rooted dirt directly to the blast chamber, so we can farm that up if we want to. But let's give it a shot here. Let's see if the clay generator works, or the stone generator, I mean. Uh-oh, we're producing cobble. That's not good. Maybe it was just 1 block. No, there's quite a bit of cobble. I don't know why that is. I'm gonna have to mess with these stone generators and the timings on them a little bit more. This might be different because it's a server, and all the testing I did was on a survival world. I might have some of the timings weird. I know that the piston timings were extremely important to getting this working right for whatever reason. So we'll just deal with the cobble now. I'll have to mess with this a little bit to make sure it only produces stone. But it has four stone generated at once. So let's give it a shot here. Don't want any stone. No, thank you. I think I messed up some piston timings. I'm gonna go take a look at this and try to figure this out. Oh, and I think I found the repeater timing that was messing us up. So set this at 2 ticks. All right, let's give it another chance. The cobblestone shouldn't generate either when this works. Oh shoot, it's working. Azalea, rooted dirt. You can't see the rooted dirt. Okay, this is huge. This is huge, chat. Yeah, sometimes it fails. It just pushes the azalea and doesn't grow into a tree. That's fine. This is huge, guys. We can just automatically make dirt. We can automatically make clay. This thing should stop producing cobble. Oh, the time's right. I guess there's still a cobble block in storage or whatever, but this is awesome. Okay, we got all the bugs kinked out. The cool thing is, too, we can actually come over here. I'll have to be kind of precise. We can change the speed of this farm, so we can make it really fast. Let's put it at 1 tick. We don't want it this fast. I think we're going to put it at 2 ticks. We're not going to leave it at 4. That was for testing. You can see what I was talking about it failing. But this will produce rooted dirt really, really fast. I don't think there's not really like great rooted dirt tutorials or whatever. Yeah, a little too fast, honestly. There's the cobble block. We're gonna just get rid of that. I think we do want to keep it at 2 ticks. 2 ticks seems to be the ideal speed. So now the next question is how we're gonna hook up the moss farm to this farm over here. We might be able to just chunk load literally that one chunk because it's 13 chunks away. That way I don't have to dig into the server settings right now. Let's make sure this thing was actually producing rooted dirt too. Oh my god, guys, this is freaking huge. You want a free cam? I made another mud to dirt converter. We can also convert the coarse dirt directly into mud, which is a pretty big deal because that means our dirt duplication is a little bit more accessible here. All right, it looks like we didn't. I still have a temporary block there. We didn't produce enough logs to test the TNT duper. I'm gonna remove these quartz bricks here so we can actually. Oh, there's cobble there, so we can actually see the rooted dirt. That's fine. So let's give this another shot. This should be working. The azaleas right here. So I guess what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pump the azalea saplings directly from the moss farm. That's why I'm talking about turning the moss farm on and using this farm at the same time. Yeah, we're also gonna have to build a redstone line that turns the moss farm on from all the way up here and then like down over like 10, 12 chunks. This seems to be working good now that we fixed all the repeater timings and everything. It doesn't look like there's any cobble being produced. Yeah, sometimes the azalea will get pushed by the piston, but it's not that big of a deal. I really hope that the moss farm produces enough azalea trees here to keep up with this thing. We can slow this thing down by a few ticks too, if need be. Or we can just farm them up beforehand, which is what I was planning to do. Oh, I just heard the TNT go off. Looks like it's working okay. Wanted to make sure that it didn't like fall down and blow anything else up. Oh, I wondered why we weren't getting azalea saplings. If we took this piece of redstone dust away while we were testing. So now this should be fully automatic rooted dirt. Fully automatic clay. Bone meal to clay. This thing is freaking crazy. This is awesome. So this was as fast as I can get it. I had to make 4 stone generator source blocks because this thing just the stone generator could not actually keep up. And I was glad I was able to get it working without producing any cobble because I always have that problem with stone generators. So enough tinkering with the repeater timings actually solved it for whatever reason. You kind of see how there's cobble being produced from the same stone generator when the repeater timings were off for whatever reason. I don't know how that works. I just kind of went with the flow and eyeballed it. Okay, finished up a lot of wiring. You can see these beautiful piston lines for the redstone and the water elevators here for the bone meal and the azalea sapling. So I guess let's see if the bone meal thing works. We do need to place 1 piece of redstone right over here. That should potentially activate the... Is my sound still off? Let's do that. Yep, we hear the hopper mine carts. Do we see the hopper mine carts? Right up there. The shulker unloader is working. Everything's filling with bone meal. Let's see if we can beat it up here. Oh, I think we're gonna be a second late. Bone meal should be going up the tower next to us here. Can we see it? Oh, shoot. Okay, we're in free cam. Well, some with the pistons are messed up. Let's go fix that real quick. Oh shoot, we do have packed ice. Okay. Break this. Break that. Awesome. Oh, okay, that's what's wrong with this. So we can just... something like this. That should fix our issues. Alright, well that wasn't too bad to fix. Let's go back up here. Walk down here. I guess we can just parkour over. Maybe we can... we reach? No! Just barely. Let's break an azalea leaf. There we go. Okay, looks like the bone meal thing is working now. Looks like we got all the bugs kinked out here. So here's what I did off camera, aside from the wires and the water streams and all that. So we have the moss farm on off, hooked all the way down over here, and you can see it really wasn't bad doing all these switches because I already had to funnel the bone meal over here. Is it on? Why was there bone meal? Why is the farm on? Uh-oh. Okay, we accidentally crossed another redstone wire. See where I have this white? I think we need to place a block right here, and this should be fine. Yeah, I forgot to do that earlier. I was like, why the heck are we getting bone meal? Like, there should only be bone meal flowing when the freaking farm's on. So I got that fixed down there. I guess let's actually turn the farm on, and this should hypothetically. I'm just gonna cut so I don't have to zoom back over. Okay, yep, it looks like the on-off switch is working correctly. And we also have another item filter here that's going to filter out all the azalea bushes. So we should start, realistically, we should see some in this water stream right here, this lime green one. Oh, we had to wait a second, but it looks like there's items now. There's the azalea bushes. So I don't know if this farm will be able to keep up with how many azalea bushes we're getting. I think it gets them pretty fast, so I think we'll be okay. But let's take like a stack here. So they're not in the chest at all. These two hoppers are not full. So I'm gonna AFK at the farm for a little bit, and we'll see what happens here. Oh my god, you know what we can even do? I kind of forgot. I tested it and I didn't get it to work. I don't know what I did wrong because it is working. The leaf stone mechanic where you use like observers to update the redstone. So we're gonna use, this should theoretically be maximum efficiency now. So we're gonna get rid of this repeater. This is technically gonna be even faster than using any repeater at all, even at 1 tick timing. So we can do this. This should be fine, and this should correctly update now. We can get rid of these. It's kind of chunky here, isn't it? So yeah, on the plus side, I did test this, and it produces way more azaleas than we needed. It definitely fills up faster than it throws them out. So let's give this a shot here with the new observer, the leaf stone. So it's theoretically, ooh, it already stopped working. That's not good. Let's try to figure out what's wrong here. Okay, I think the problem is it's like too far away, so this won't work. But if I move it closer, let's do this real quick. Steal a log. It's gonna send a signal through. Yeah, so I think it's too far away. And yeah, for the moss farm here, this is actually within the simulation distance radius of 12 chunks. I guess it's a square radius. I know like for entities and for what is it? Like render distance, I think that's all spherical. So the simulation distance thing caught me off guard, but we don't have to do any chunk loading or change any server settings or game settings or anything like that. So I'm gonna try to maybe move the observer a little bit, see if I can get this working. Okay, it looks like I've got this a little bit more consistent here. So I'm gonna run our observer right here. I had the first one right that I've been testing with, like right here, and I think it's kind of screwing with the chance that a log grows or a tree grows. So let's just get rid of this. All right, break this block. We'll try this. This is cute right here. Bam, hook that up. It should pretty much be the same circuit. You know what? We might even be able to get rid of this repeater, make it a little bit faster maybe. All right, I guess let's give this a shot. Hopefully messing with the repeater timings doesn't screw me over too much. No way. Maximum efficiency clay farm. Come on. Why didn't it work? Why didn't it work? Why didn't this keep up? What the heck? Why does the observer just not update sometimes? What is going on here? Yep, no update. The tree grows, but it doesn't update. But it updates sometimes. Like, why? Like, that worked. That worked. And then sometimes it just doesn't update. That's so weird. I'm gonna try to figure this out. Maybe move the positioning of the observer a little bit. I think I found it, guys. I think I found the sweet spot. It doesn't seem to interrupt like the tree growth at all, and it seems to respond as soon as the tree spawns. Oh, no, it just messed up again. I moved it one closer. Maybe I have to move it towards the trunk and it'll start working. We're so close. Yeah, when the observer's right here, it's not even gonna freaking grow, is it? Oh, shoot, man. What do I do? The real trick is just finding the right observer position. Is it even gonna grow here? I don't think it's gonna grow. It doesn't grow at the top. It doesn't detect the leaves every time either. Like, what am I supposed to do? So I spent quite a bit of time, basically stayed up all night, designing and testing this machine, and I got it working at what I would call full efficiency. I think I can make it a little bit faster, but I'm having issues with the stone generators generating cobble with the repeater timings or whatever. So I'm pretty happy if everything turned out. Now I am down here looking for a sticky piston or that observer right there. I think there's a piston right above it. Yep. This block right here. Okay, we're going to put a torch here. A sticky piston, one block higher. Alright, this means this torch isn't at the right level then. This should be good right here. Block here. Block there. Do I have any pistons in my inventory? Or did I turn them all into sticky pistons? Uh-oh. I went and grabbed some pistons here. Bam. Piece of redstone dust. And let's see. Zero tick works fine. I don't think we really need zero ticks, but I like doing it anyway. Nope. Nope, it needs to be up even one block higher. I'm not entirely sure how we're gonna do this. This should work, hypothetically. Yeah, it looks good. Easy. I make it look easy. I think we are gonna have to move the wall on this observer. Shouldn't be a big deal. Or the observer itself, maybe. No, or does this actually line up perfectly? Holy crap. Hell yeah. Awesome. Okay, now that we've done that, we can press this button. And instead of going to the clay farm, this should send the rooted dirt directly to the blast chamber. So let's try this out. Oh, farm's not on. It's so freaking fast, guys. Oh my god. Holy crap. So I guess let's see if this is making the rooted dirt. Yeah, looks like it's working. Sometimes it'll fail like that too. I might have to add even more observers. I'm kind of worried about adding so many observers that it cuts into how long a tree has to grow. But I think having like just more observers to like potentially read a block update is what is the solution here. Yeah, and the rooted dirt just goes down the chamber here. Awesome. I don't really want to farm up a ton right now. I just wanted to make sure that it works. But yeah, this is super exciting. It's kind of funny that I just built this by a complete accident too. Like, I don't know. I kind of had like a rooted dirt farm. Like I could make I could make that with the TNT blast chamber, and I put it together in creative just on a whim. And I was like, you know what, guys? We can just build this at the top of the factory here and hook it directly up to the clay farm. I was initially gonna put it next to the cobble generator down here, but I was like, wait a second. So I think it was definitely worth the time spent to get this as efficient as possible. I felt like when I was building this, there's always some dumb little error or thing, like and then it would be like I wasn't even doing like the redstone wrong. Like I just had a good example is like you can see I used to have more of these pistons with the gravity block with the sand or the concrete powder or whatever, and I switched over to observers instead because what was happening was the farm actually got so fast that the piston would retract and then it would just like break the sand block, and then it would break the farm. No issues with the moss farm. This thing does produce cobble still sometimes. I couldn't figure out what that was, but there is like a failsafe. If you saw the tree grow slow a few times here, there's a comparator clock here. Because sometimes, like I said earlier, the observers just don't register the fact that there's been like a block update. I think like a new tree basically has to grow, or I'm not like in the block. I'm not really sure how this works or what is happening. I think I can just hook up more observers though. So that's kind of the train I'm on. Sometimes the piston generator generates cobble. It's whatever. So this little there's like a little clock here basically. If the farm's on and you know the tree doesn't grow, the loop, the redstone loop through this whole thing that you know gets the machine working won't pulse. So this little clock here, you know, turns on when the farm's on here. And so theoretically, it should never break. It does slow down a little bit when that happens, though. This might be kind of hard to follow. I'm not really going super deep into the redstone. Definitely going to put a tutorial together for this, though, and the clay farm. I'm kind of glad I procrastinated the clay farm tutorial, because now I can put a automatic dirt generator system in here, too. But let's take a look at... Let's go down here. Just drop down... Yeah, so we were producing apples. We can trade for apples, so I really don't care. Don't care to collect apples in bulk anymore. You know, it would be nice to get them for like golden apples and stuff like that, but the fact that we can trade for them, I really have no need to be farming them. So this is just a stick chest, but I can't place the stick in the item frame because of litematica. So let's see. I use the extra item sorter here in shulker loader to get an oak log. I guess we got five shulker shells of oak logs. I'm not sure I really left this thing overnight. I'm kind of in a daze right now. I like put this thing together and then it was just running when I woke up and it didn't break. And so I guess oh, it did break a little bit. I wanted to talk about this. I forgot. Over here. So look at this piston right here. So like this reset system has nothing to do with this little piston line. Basically, blocks will get pushed out where they shouldn't be. And when this is like the system reset right here. When the system resets, it'll push these blocks back into the piston stream here on a delay. So look at what happened. I'm happy the farm didn't break. When I fell asleep, it was at like 2 mud blocks and 1 diorite. So I guess it's pretty slow, but if the farm is too fast, it's also why when the player uses this farm, we run the repeater. Yeah, where's the repeater here? At 3 ticks instead of 2. It's because this right here happens. I think we can just fix that by putting another one of these piston circuits in. Where'd it go? Yeah, right here. So we're just gonna put another circuit in on these blocks right here, and I think the clay farm should be fine. Because this ran for hours at maximum speed or at maximum efficiency, as fast as I could get it to go without the machine producing cobble or something stupid. So, all right, let's just walk across the street here. Go to the blast chamber. This project encompasses so much space in the world because it encompasses the blast chamber, the factory, and the sewer system with the moss farm. Which luckily the simulation distance is a square and not a sphere, so that might be important for some people. Because I definitely did not know that. I've been treating it like it was render distance or entity loading distance. So I guess let's see how much clay we got. Oh crap, guys! It should be an equal amount. I guess there's not too much cobblestone. Only 1 or 2 cobblestone for an entire shulker shell full of clay is pretty good. And you might be wondering what all these shulker shells around the ground are. So these ones in the walls are actually the stripped wood variants. I don't have cherry tree farms yet. I think that's going to be a next episode project. It's a cherry tree farm. But yeah, we can make shelves and also hanging signs, apparently. I didn't realize hanging signs required the stripped logs. But I made my first hanging sign. We do just have the vanilla tweaks mod, or data pack, I guess. Let's see, is there any concrete powder? So we can just grab concrete powder and throw it into the cauldron here. We could do the same thing with dirt, and it'll just make blue concrete. If we throw dirt into a cauldron, it'll make mud. And there's also, I think it's at a stone cutter, we can turn, or there's some kind of device here, like one of the crafting stations. We can turn regular logs into stripped logs without having to do this crazy interface over here. So if you're wondering what all these shulker shells are on the ground, this is all dirt, because I was just duplicating dirt to send into to turn into clay before we built the rooted dirt farm. So now we have all this dirt, and we're probably straight up not gonna use it. I'm not gonna lie. But I guess it's good to have in reserve. If we can come over here into the factory, you can kind of see how I put this together. So I got into the auto crafting stuff a little bit. I don't think I showed this on camera at all with the automatic dirt farm here. So there's 2 shulker unloaders. This turns the farm on, and there's also these. We've been trading for these bottle of enchantings, and this was so that we could turn the coarse dirt. So the player will fill up their inventory, right? They'll come here, put this in the offhand, and then turn the coarse dirt, which is being auto-crafted with gravel, which is renewable because we can duplicate it, or we can get it from piglins. And so there's a dispenser under here. And the way this works is there's an AND gate. Is it an AND gate? Yeah, it's an AND gate. So it needs to see the farm. This lever needs to be on, and there needs to be a redstone signal from the farm. And then it'll activate. If there's 2 inputs that say yes, it's the redstone over here is kind of a rat's nest. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna send a signal. There's a little redstone wire right here to the dispenser. But we can look at the rates here. This is what I counted in 60 seconds. So is this off? Yeah, the pressure plate's nice here, so it won't keep producing dirt. I think Raiseworks made the design for the dirt farm, and then I kind of spruced it up a little bit with the bottles of enchanting. But yeah, no reason to turn all that dirt into clay. We were making, yeah, so we're earning about 2,250 dirt per hour, which for some of these like really efficient technical Minecraft farms just it's not that good. That is, what is that? About 4,500 dirt per hour with the clay farm, because we have to basically we make a coarse dirt. We make 2 coarse dirt, and it costs 2 dirt. So we get 1 dirt, but we have to send 1 dirt back into the system. So half of these shulker shells over here would theoretically go back into the coarse dirt auto crafter to duplicate more dirt to get our dirt back, if that makes sense. But luckily, we can actually get a pretty good ratio, so we can just turn the coarse dirt directly into mud, in which we can turn directly into clay. So we actually do get 4,500 dirt per hour from this machine, but we have to place all this dirt and then place it again, which is why the rooted dirt farm was so nice. But I thought I'd show that off because I've been really trying to get like industrial quantities of terracotta. Oh yeah, and over here you can see the mud farm. But I had to put another one of these in. I didn't really show it on camera for the other piston stream and the clay farm. These are so simple, but I could just turn this on. Like, I can already make mud. Like, I made all of these stripped logs legitimate too. So meaning, like, I would take and kind of show off here. Yeah, this is kind of what I was saying when I'm just tired of freaking, like, just AFKing, really. It's kind of nice to just do it a little bit quicker with the data packs. Like, I don't really enjoy this. We did hook up the EXP generator too, so there's a little lever back here, so we can turn the EXP generator on when we're stripping logs. That way the dirt farm doesn't have to be on. And also, I just thought I'd show it off on camera. This is how we use to farm concrete in the world too. Up here, it's a little bit faster, so it's not as bad. This is really, really nice. It's so much faster, but unfortunately, like, you have to do the animation or whatever of making the dirt a path block or stripping the logs, right? So yeah, the next thing we're gonna work on is a snow farm. I've been really looking forward to this. I've been creating a lot of these cute little farms in creative mode here. Just gonna show a little time lapse of us building this thing. But yeah, super exciting to have a way of renewably getting snow, or the snow layers too, if we want to farm those up. Or maybe even snowballs if we want to breed happy gas or something, or make them grow up faster or whatever. Alright, let's just remember. These will be snowballs, so this will output into snow blocks in our crafter. Looks like all of the redstone should be good here. I'm not sure how well I have those minecarts sealed up, but we have to get this snow golem in the chamber here. Speaking of getting sealed up, I think we can just put glass blocks right here. We'll be fine. It might be nice to see that in case that's not working right away. Maybe we should make like a freaking staircase or something, because it kind of sucks to get up here. Let's do that. How is this gonna work? So let's get rid of these blocks for the moment. I think the idea is we want him pushed up onto the slab. So we're gonna do this. And I guess I only have sticky pistons. That should be fine. This will be tough. Alright, you know what? Screw this attempt. I think I kind of messed things up here. Hardcore parkour over here. Okay, so I guess what we want... a little chamber like this. Don't really have any scaffolding blocks. We'll have plenty of snow soon, so we can just use this stuff willy-nilly. So I guess we'll place him like a so. Can I get over here? What's this Y level? Right here, maybe? We can do this. Awesome. And then place a... Let's do this first. So we can hook these up. Put a block on his head. Where's my redstone blocks? Don't move them. They're not pressing anything. No, go in the chamber. Get over there. Perfect. I think this is what we want. No! Alright. Break the piston. Get rid of these sea lanterns. I think our guy is good now. I don't think he can move. And he should... Oh, we need him on... Can we just do this? Alright, let's try this, maybe. A little scheme. I'm not really sure this is what we wanted, but whatever. So now we can just sit here and snow farm. Should all get picked up by the hopper mine carts. I don't know which way. I don't think we have the auto crafter running yet. Okay, so it should be going into the right chamber. We're gonna need to build a staircase up here. And yep, the whole gimmick here is that we can... Let's get rid of these freaking temporary snow blocks. We can hit this button. And now when we mine these snow layers here, it's going to... Oh, what's going on here? What is going on here? Oh, this is right. This is because the farm is on right now. So when this is active, it means it's crafting snowballs into snow blocks. And when we turn this off, it actually moves redstone blocks and locks hoppers in such a way. It's kind of an Easter egg that it's going to put all of the entire hopper input into these two, into the shulker loader over here. So it's a dual speed shulker loader for snowballs and snow layers. And then we have a quad hopper speed auto crafter with the snowballs to dispense into the shulker loaders here. So I'm going to get these filled up. I'm going to do a little bit of aesthetics, and I'll be back. All right, and here it is. The finished snow farm. Doesn't look too impressive from this angle, actually. But yeah, I pretty much just wanted to tuck this in the corner, because we had this kind of empty room, and I feel like this giant freaking building here should just, like, do more. Like, actually. Like, this redstone room here, like, it's just so empty. Like, the blast chamber is so important, and there is an ice farm tucked away up there, but it's kind of dark, so it's hard to see. But obviously, I thought the snow farm would fit in well with the theme of the ice building here, the ice crystal building. You can see it, like, freeze the lake and everything over here. A little bit of lore, so I thought the snow factory was a good fit here. I might put some snow blocks here to try and cover this up. I try to get the building kind of meshed well around the floor and the squid farm here with the glass and everything. I think it turned out pretty well. I like that only blocks are on the little bit of floor here and the awkward bit of floor here that's not in the river biome. So this looks pretty good. If we head up here, we can turn the farm on. Oh, that's what I came here to do, is to fill up the shulkers. And I can kind of show you guys how it works. Just fill up our inventory. So I enchanted another shovel. We have our silk touch shovel. So when the farm is on, we are going to be auto crafting. So we can just aim at the corner of these blocks right here, and we could just, like, AFK and F3 plus T, you know, watch some YouTube in the other monitor, browse some website or whatever. Then when we're done, we don't really need to turn it off. We can come down here. It's so fast. It's like can't even keep up with. I mean, it can keep up with how many snowballs you get from 2 blocks of snow mining. So this actually keeps up with the speed. I don't know if the little Easter egg here. We also have a silk touch shovel in our inventory. You might be wondering why I have a diamond shovel instead of a netherite one. It was definitely from using this dirt farm, and that's why I actually installed the little XP farm there. I might do the same for this thing right here. They're not too hard to install. Just a little hopper clock. And now that it's off, we can do the snow layers. Very, very cool. All right, so let's just put our shovel in this barrel here. Hop down the we'll leave that there. Very convenient exit right here. Very discreet. And then what do I want to do? I put a crafting table up here, and we can just craft some shulker boxes. I don't think we'll need this many, but whatever. All right, we could also make our way across the street here to the big, beautiful factory. Kind of show off a build I did off camera, a little time lapse here. Yep, just building an industrial little flower farm right here. You can see I have the shulker loaders all primed. I actually need to build in the bone meal lines for this. I didn't do that in the time lapse. So I think we can just kind of vampire or siphon. Let's do this. Oh, you know what? So I think where we want to do it is we want to siphon bone meal from the central hopper right here. So I think it goes at 1 hopper speed into the chest here, into the nether tree farm. And then it will also go... it'll drain at 1 hopper speed. So it'll send 1 hopper speed of bone meal here, and then this hopper will take 1 hopper speed of bone meal out of this hopper, and that's fine because it can load faster than 2 hopper speed. So this is exactly what we want. So it's perfectly fine to vampire. I definitely had to do a little bit of double checking when I initially went about all this. I think we'll keep it in line with like right here. That should be fine. Doesn't really line up too nicely here. This goes right here. We have this awkward little one on the corner here, but it's whatever. I think this is 1 block above. So is this where we want it? Right here? Definitely don't want to build it at the wrong level. This looks right. Awesome. We can just put some composters down. That'll make the hoppers a little bit less laggy. Yeah, this build uses like 100 hoppers. I gotta be really careful. So I was very tempted to not build the snow farm in this building, but I guess it's raining now, so it's still kind of dark. But like, how can you not put a freaking snow farm in like the snow and ice building? You know what I mean? Especially next to like the spruce tree, which like the Christmas tree. Like, come on, man, you gotta put, even if it is like a few hoppers. I guess it wasn't that many, maybe like 30 or 40. These like item loaders and shulker loaders take up so many. I guess we can also put our shulkers. Oh, shoot. All right, I guess we can also craft. I need to maybe spruce this up a little bit. I need to get it maybe looking as nice as this item sorter. And this could be like this storage system actually looks pretty nice. It's like its own freaking storage system at this point. So much clay farm testing too. We've got so many oak logs here. So let's just craft some more shulkers here and throw them into these chests. Maybe do something like this. This will be nice because all of these flowers we're duplicating get 2 times the amount of dye. I think the only thing we really don't care about in terms of dye is the rose bush because we're already getting poppies from the iron farm. But having a yellow dye from the sunflowers, purple dye, magenta dye, those are all extremely valuable because it means we don't have to do any auto crafting or use things like blue dye or whatever in order to create the other dyes. All right, grab the last of this out of here, and I guess we can go up here and start testing these out. We should have had enough time here for the bone meal to start piling into these. I guess we really want yellow dye. Is this working? Uh-oh. Maybe. Does it have bone meal in it? That's probably what's wrong, right? One of these should work. Yeah. Okay. So there's just not bone meal in it. That's why it's not working. All right. Well, I guess we'll have to wait a little bit longer for this to fully fill up here. Yeah. So no yellow dye for right now. I guess let's head back up here to the dirt to mud to clay farm. And you guys aren't gonna believe this, but I got this thing even more efficient. I don't think it can go any freaking faster. I think the only way I can actually improve it now is, like I said earlier, doing the freaking observers or whatever a little bit better. But it works well enough for what it is. It is kind of annoying when that fires. I can give you kind of a clue about how fast it is here. Installed some more hoppers and chests for the azalea saplings here. That way we don't have to turn on the moss farm as much when we use this thing. All right, I guess I put a hopper in here too, so it picks up all that crap. So it's pretty fast now. Like, it's pretty much only as long as it takes to grow the azalea sapling, which might be slowed down a little bit by the observers. But yeah, I can't get this thing any freaking faster without it breaking. I think there is theoretically a way to get it 1 tick faster, but I just can't figure it out. I don't know how to make redstone go longer than 15 blocks without using at least 1 repeater. So it still produces some cobble, which kind of sucks. So the machine will have to unjam itself. Sometimes it'll have to unjam itself anyways for no reason whatsoever, which really cuts into the rates of the farm. But I think it's rare enough. Like, it's doing it again here. You know what I mean? Where the observers just don't detect any block change, even though we have 5 of them. So I am really worried about this farm getting this thing working as fast as possible, because I don't know. It is frustrating that I got it working so well, and it's like sometimes these things just like don't fire for whatever reason. I don't know if I can put more of them. I don't know the optimal layout. I'm probably gonna do a little bit more testing and experimenting, maybe in creative or something with the azalea trees, because this is kind of annoying. I've done so much of this in survival, and you can imagine I'd be working on this down here, and then I would just like fall down. I have to rock it back up. And so, yeah, I spent a ton of time on this. You can see I changed up quite a bit with the observers. I think I got it 1 or 2 ticks faster. So I think this is like the final speed. I think hypothetically, you can get rid of this repeater and this repeater right here. But it's just too far, as you can see, to activate all the pistons or whatever for the stone. So I guess I do need that 1 tick. Maybe just for the farm to work in the first place. Maybe it can't even go any faster. I think if I make it go any faster, I have a chance of breaking. Oh wait, no, it didn't break. I thought those were extra blocks. If it goes any faster, it might break the piston line here, or it might break the clay farm too. You can see we still haven't fixed the one thing right here. I'm gonna do that next. Actually, I want to get some. That was what I was wondering. There was something I had queued, like I had a task queued, but I couldn't remember what it was, and it was definitely installing this next line. Alright, this is the way. I think this is what we need to do. Oh, shoot. I hope I didn't just mess this whole freaking thing up. Alright, let me just put a bunch of repeaters here. And hopefully this should fix the clay farm. I'm going to do a little bit more testing to make sure this all still works. But, yeah, there should be no more leftover blocks. And I think the clay farm will be able to keep up with the speed at which the rooted dirt farm can produce dirt sometimes. But yeah, that is going to wrap it up for today. I did actually change. I was just editing the video and I realized, I got to the end and I realized it never like officially ended this thing. The last video and this one were originally supposed to be one video, but be like 2 hours long. I also made the snow layer farm, and I guess it also harvests snowballs too. That's now a triple speed loader, and there is still item decay. So you actually need 4 freaking hoppers to not have item decay for your snowballs when you're crafting snow blocks. There's not enough item decay for me to like really care, but that's definitely a thing. I really couldn't figure out a way to make it like this freaking compact. I mean, I guess we changed I couldn't make this any more compact or fit it in here. There's already so many freaking hoppers. I couldn't get. I feel like I'd have to build two machines. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I guess we can go. I'll head up here one more time. It's been maybe like a month since I last recorded. I've been working on the new episode quite a bit. So yeah, if you enjoyed, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to look for some funny things here before we cap off the episode. Oh, it's right here. It's right here. Next to the frickin' TNT dispenser. We have these logs going down. We had stuff poking out of our building, and I think we still have a huge wall of clay down here we need to destroy. There was a small bug with the clay farm that we kinked out when we were like testing this thing in our survival world with all this sensitive machinery, but somehow we freaking manage. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, ask for tutorial if you want to know how to build the rooted dirt farm, or if you want to see this clay farm, and I'll see you next episode.